So today we're talking about the retirement decisions people regret later and how to avoid becoming one of them. Quick note before we start. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, CPA, or attorney, and this isn't financial, legal, or tax advice. Full disclaimer is in the description. All right, let's start with income. One of the first quiet mistakes is claiming Social Security without thinking long-term. Yes, you can start at 62, but that permanently reduces your monthly benefit. And once that number is set, it doesn't adjust upward later. If you live into your 80s or 90s, which many people do, that reduced check follows you for decades. For some people, claiming early makes sense, but doing it automatically, just because you can, isn't strategy. It's convenience. Retirement income decisions shouldn't be made out of convenience. They should be made out of calculation. Another common mistake is assuming you'll work longer than you actually do. A lot of people say, I'll just work until 70. But health doesn't always cooperate. Employers don't always cooperate. Life doesn't always cooperate. Many people retire earlier than planned, not by choice, but by circumstance. So a solid retirement plan assumes flexibility, not perfect timing. Plan like you might stop earlier than expected because a lot of people do. Now let's talk spending. One of the fastest ways to stress a retirement plan is continuing to spend like a paycheck is still coming in. When you're working, income replenishes. In retirement, your assets become the paycheck, and early overspending, especially during market volatility, can permanently reduce long-term sustainability. The first few years of retirement matter more than most people realize. Withdraw too much during a downturn and recovery gets harder. Retirement spending requires awareness, not restriction. Awareness. Now, the fun stuff. The big purchases. The boat. The RV. The luxury car. The dream home. The resort community. The timeshare. None of these are automatically bad, but ownership is different from imagination. Maintenance. Insurance. Property taxes. Storage, repairs. Depreciation. What felt like freedom can quietly turn into a fixed expense. Here's a better rule. Test the lifestyle before you buy the lifestyle. Rent it. Try it. Experience it. Because if you only use something occasionally, ownership might not make sense. Big purchases don't usually destroy retirement overnight. They increase fixed costs slowly, and fixed costs reduce flexibility. Next mistake, over-supporting adult children. Helping feels good. Paying off loans. Funding down payments. Covering emergencies. But retirement income is usually fixed, and your kids still have earning years. You don't. You can borrow for education, you cannot borrow for retirement. Generosity is powerful, but it has to live inside your long-term plan, not outside of it. Now, healthcare, this is where a lot of plans quietly underestimate risk. Medicare helps, but it doesn't eliminate expenses. Premiums, supplement plans, out-of-pocket costs, prescriptions, dental, vision, and then there's long-term care. That's where savings can erode fast. A lot of retirees assume they won't need it. Statistically, many will. Planning for healthcare isn't pessimistic, it's protective. One health event shouldn't undo 30 years of saving. Now let's move to investing. There are two extremes retirees fall into. Too aggressive or too conservative. Too aggressive means heavy volatility during withdrawal years. Too conservative means inflation quietly eats purchasing power. Avoiding the stock market doesn't eliminate risk. It shifts it. Retirement portfolios need balance, growth to fight inflation, and stability to protect withdrawals. Not fear, not recklessness, balance. Another common issue is set it and forget it investing. Target date funds can help, but they're not autopilot forever. If your timeline changes, your allocation should change. If your risk tolerance changes, your allocation should change. Retirement planning isn't a one-time setup. It's a periodic review at least once per year. Small adjustments prevent large regrets. Debt is another quiet stressor. Car loans, credit cards, home equity lines. Every required payment reduces flexibility, and when income becomes fixed, flexibility becomes everything. debt amplifies pressure. That doesn't mean every mortgage must disappear, but high interest or unnecessary debt entering retirement increases risk. Lower fixed expenses create breathing room. Breathing room creates stability. Now taxes. A lot of retirees think planning ends when they stop working. It doesn't. It shifts. Required minimum distributions start at a certain age. Withdrawals become taxable. Sequencing matters. Ignoring your withdrawal strategy can create unnecessary tax drag. Retirement isn't just about how much you saved, it's about how efficiently you draw it down. Estate planning is another one where procrastination quietly causes damage. Outdated beneficiaries, old wills, missing powers of attorney, and retirement accounts pass by beneficiary designation, not by your will. So if that paperwork isn't updated, your assets may not go where you expect. Estate planning isn't about wealth level. It's about clarity and protecting the people you care about. And finally, one that surprises people: not planning your time. Retirement removes structure. For decades, your days had rhythm, deadlines, colleagues, responsibility. And then it stops. Without purpose, boredom sets in. Some retirees overspend simply to fill space, traveling excessively, buying impulsively, taking on lifestyle costs to recreate identity. Planning your days matters just as much as planning your dollars. Here's the truth. Retirement mistakes don't feel dramatic in the moment. They feel reasonable, logical, exciting even. But small increases in fixed costs, small reductions in income, small oversights compound. Retirement isn't about buying freedom. It's about protecting it. Protect your income timing. Protect your spending discipline. Protect your portfolio balance. Protect your healthcare planning. Protect your flexibility. You don't need perfect decisions. You need intentional ones. Because retirement isn't won when you retire. It's sustained every year after. If this gave you something to think about, hit the like button. It helps more people find practical financial education. If you know someone approaching retirement, share this with them. These conversations matter more before the decisions are made. And if you want more clear, no-fluff breakdowns of personal finance basics, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for your time.